Hi! Good day to everyone. We are the Group E from BSIT 2C2D NANSEM, and we are here to discuss to you our project in the subject Computer Architecture and Organization. But first, I will introduce to you my group members and the assigned tasks to them. Renz Joal A. Borais is the developer of the system. Andrei James Pantia, assigned in the quality assurance of the system. Jersey Ann Bantaculo, assigned in the documentation such as PDF and PowerPoint file. And Angelo Silvestre, who is assigned to the video editing. So let's get started.
Hi! Good day! I am Renz Joal A. Borais from Group E, BSIT 2C, 2D, Non-STEM. Before we reveal the system that we created, I will tell you something that is related to the system that we created. Do you know the programming language called Bator? If not, watch this. Bator is a programming scripting language that is translated into a Filipino language and has a Tagalog syntax. It was created by Joal Brian Juliano, and it is based on Ruby programming language. It is called Bato because Ruby is a kind of stone, and the word Bato is the Tagalog word of stone. Here is an example of Bato programming scripting language with a Tagalog syntax. Now that you know something about our system is called Tagalog OS or Tagalog Operating System. The system that we created is an operating system based on the Micro OS kernel program in EMU8086. And to utilize the system, we implemented a file handling management to it. The unique part here is that the commands and functions that we use in the system are translated into Tagalog words. Later on in the video, the commands and functions that is translated into Tagalog words will be shown.
Hi, I am Josie and Bantaculo, and now I will be discussing to you the brief description of the system that we created. The Tagalog OS is an operating system devices in an assembly language run in EMU8086 emulator. The system is utilized from the existing device, which is the Micro OS kernel in the assembly language, who is responsible for handling interrupts, running processes, and translating data processing instructions for the central processing unit. The Tagalog OS is a device on which the files in the emulator is being manipulated in the device by the use of file handle management, such as creating, writing a message, opening and deleting a file when the program is emulated and executed. The difference is that the function and the commands in the system is translated into Tagalog words. For example, the word delete in the English is translated to burahin in Tagalog. But the functions and the use of the commands are still the same. The only difference is that the function and commands is translated into Tagalog words.
Hi, I'm Andrei James Pantia, and now I will be discussing the background information of the system that we created. The system is related to the kernel operating system. A kernel is an important part of an OS that manages system resources. It also acts as a bridge between the software and hardware of the computer. It is one of the first programs which is loaded on startup after the bootloader. The kernel is also responsible for offering secure access to the machine's hardware for various programs. Microkernel is a software or code which contains the required minimum amount of functions, data, files handling, and features to implement an operating system. It provides a minimal number of mechanisms which is good enough to run the most basic functions of an operating system. The best example of this is the file handling management on by which the file in the system can be manipulated with the help of the kernel operating system, CPU, and memory resources. Furthermore, the system includes the file handling management with the use of the DOS interrupt. DOS is an interrupt function. It is a condition that halts the microprocessor temporarily to work on a different task and then return to its previous task. And the DOS interrupt contains function to file handle and management which make it easy and make and set directory, create, rename, delete, and display the message in the file.
Hi, I am Angelo Silvestre, and now we will go to the scope and limitation of the system we created. First, the virtual device in the MU8086 that we utilize is the MicroOS kernel in the assembly language. With the help of this device, we will utilize its function and features to make our own MicroOS operating system. The MicroOS kernel will be a big help on the microsystem that we are doing, as we will use it as a base for our own system because kernel lets you to manipulate or control the file using the system. We will also use file handling to manipulate files for the basic function of the OS such as create, write, open, and delete the file. To make our OS unique among other micro OS, we will use Tagalog language to cater to Filipino users. Using this device as a base for our own system, it will become much more easier for most people because we will make it more user-friendly for the Filipino users, and we will make the system more smaller so it will not take more space than most of the system.
And now I will be discussing the capabilities of the system that we created. First, the system is capable of commanding functions in the system with the use of Tagalog words. Next is execute certain instructions about the file handling management. And the user level instruction does not require special privilege. Example are add, push, pop, or etc. The system is capable of doing file handling management such as creating, opening, reading, writing, and deleting file in the system. The system allows implementation of special operation whose execution by the user program could interface with the functioning of operating system or activity of another user program. Also, the system calls are typically implemented in the form of software interrupts, which causes the hardware interrupt handler to transfer control over to an inappropriate interrupt handler. And next, the system is capable of operating basic functions and commands in the system. It is capable of providing memory management and allocation in the system, in which responsible for the managing and keeping tracks of the memory and addresses in the system. The following are the command functions in the system file handle management that is translated into Tagalog words. Lagayan, folder or directory path. This command function is capable of creating folder for the file. Next, gumawa or create. This command function is capable of creating file in the system. Buksan or open. This command function is capable of opening the file in the system. Palitan or rename. This command function is capable of renaming the file in the system. Burahin or delete. This command function is capable of deleting the file in the system. Linisin or clear. This command function is capable of clearing the screen of the system. Next is umalis or exit. This command function is capable of exiting the system.
And now, I will be discussing what are the things that the system cannot do. First, the system cannot execute any command if the inputted command of the user is not in the system. Second, the performance of the system can be indifferent and may lead to some problems. Third, the system will display appropriate error message if the user executed a command that is not defined in the system. Lastly, context switch or a function call needed when the drivers are implemented as procedures or processes respectively.
Values of the system that we created. Error or unknown command messages will display if the user input commands other than the choices that is displayed in the system. Memory management mechanisms like address spaces should be included in the microkernel. It also contains memory protection features. Scheduling mechanisms should contain process and thread schedulers. Inter-process communications manages the servers that runs their own address spaces. The system is case sensitive. The system only accepts Tagalog word commands that is displayed in the screen the user. The system functions are changes into Tagalog words, but the functions are still the same.
Our group encountered different technical problems, but we managed to find solutions and ways to resolve the problems. The following are the technical problems we encountered and the solution as well. First, we encountered bugs and errors in the system, but we managed to find solution to it by analyzing and understanding the part where the bugs and errors occurs in the system. Second, we also encountered freezing and lagging of the device we are using. In order to resolve it, we managed to close the application that is not necessary while we are creating the system. In order for the device to run smoothly without the interruptions and for the RAM to have a lot of space to handle the application that we are using. Third, we encountered problems in internet connectivity. In order to resolve this, some of us used data connectivity for a while to have an access in internet. Lastly, we encountered technical problems while creating the video presentation. Unfortunately, some videos are not working and corrupted. In this case, we reshoot the videos that is not working and by then we managed to finish the video presentation.